And I'm back to my old set, if you notice. Hey, you guys. I've been so busy with February. It's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm already tired. Not only that, I found out I got exposed to somebody they had a positive COVID test. And don't you know, I'm like getting symptoms. My throat is sore right now. I had night sweats last night. I had to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, change my pajamas, all my sheets and everything because I sweated them all up. No appetite. It's just terrible. So hopefully it'll just be a mild case, though. Nothing that's going to require any kind of major drama. But all the yeah, I just whatever. It's just one of them things. But to me, it's like a cold or something. That's how I feel. Actually, I felt worse when I had cold, so I don't anticipate that's going to keep me down too much. But um, I've been doing my, fresh lemon juice with ginger tea stuff and all the stuff, and hopefully that'll take care of it. But I will be going to lay down as soon as the show is over. So welcome to What the Fuck Tuesday. After that, dropping that little bomb on you, this is the relationship advice show that we have here every Tuesday. And people send in their letters in advance, and then my lovely cousin Candace puts them into this wonderful document. I read the questions on the air, and then I answer them off the cuff. So there's nothing about this show that's rehearsed or anything like that. So today she started putting on the cover page. She started putting how many questions are there, so I don't have to flip through like I usually did. She said it just looked very awkward, and so now she does this. So I already know how many questions it is. We got 22. All right. So you guys ready? Yeah, if you guys have some tips for me on how to do, because I know a lot of you are nurses and stuff, you have some ideas for how to deal with this, please email them to me at survivingdating@gmail.com. I'm all ears. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna be too bad. It feels like a pretty mild case. So let's move on. Question number one of 22. This is from a female in the 50 to 59 age group. She's from Columbus, Ohio. We broke up a couple of weeks ago. I told him I couldn't give him what he needed, which was more time. He wanted all my attention and time, and he would get upset that I was busy. He's been sending messages which I have ignored. Messages like he's thinking about me, missing me, etc. He then sent a message saying that I must never have liked him as I'm not responding to his attempts to reach out to me. He has asked if we can be friends as we have a lot of interests in common. He said he loves me as a friend, but that we didn't work as a couple because of the physical distance, and he has tried really hard to make it work out, but he thinks that being friends will work for us and we can both make room to meet other people that are a better fit for us. He needs someone that lives closer. I wonder how far away they are from each other. In one day, he has gone from telling me he misses me deeply and he feels hurt and foolish that he tried so hard to make it work, to asking if we can see one another as friends. He kept ringing me earlier in the day and I didn't pick up. He sent a text message telling me that he just wanted to hear my voice as he misses me. I didn't pick up because the relationship just doesn't work. What is this new angle that he's trying, or does he really just want to be friends because he no longer has feelings for me? Telling me he loves me as a friend has confused me. Don't let it confuse you. You're too old for this. That's some little 18-year-old girl nonsense. You're almost 60 years old. What are you doing? What are you doing? You know you don't want to be friends with this fool. Why don't you block him? You sitting up there leaving the door open, wide open for him to come waltzing in and out of your life. That means you want him to be fucking with you. Okay? So if you didn't want him to be doing that, you would have closed that door and sealed it shut. You say you know it's not going to work, then why is he still able to call you? Why is he still able to text you? Why didn't you put something in place so he couldn't do that and wouldn't have that access to you? See, when people do this kind of stuff, like, yeah, I know you're playing games with yourself, but you're not going to play them with me because I'm not stupid. So if you really meant what you were saying about, being done with him, then you would have closed all those doors so you really could move on. You can't have somebody flipping, flopping in and out of your life from the past while you're trying to get something going with somebody new. It divides your attention. You mess around. Now, he want to be friends. What does that mean? He's still going to be the same distance away that he was. So nothing's going to be different, right? He's still wherever he is and you still wherever you are. You cannot be friends with an ex. If you have any kind of doubt, there's a video on this channel. I will try to remember to link to it. You can't be friends with an ex, especially when it's brand new. You have no reason to be friends with an ex unless you have children with them, in which case you don't really need to be friends, but it helps if you have, a cordial, friendly relationship so that you guys can both be at your children's wedding, graduations, at the hospital when your kids have a baby, stuff like that. You're cordial and polite to one another. There's no, stupidity going on. But you don't have any children. There's no reason for you to ever talk to this clown ever again. What are you doing? So that's my thing. He doesn't want to be friends. He just wants to keep that door open so that he could slide in there and tap that ass when he gets ready. Thanks, Trace. And if you fall for it at between 50 and 69 years of age, we have to look at you and wonder what's going on there. Surely you cannot be this thirsty for male attention. Okay, so cut that out. Let's move on. Question number 2. Yes, blockety block block block, blockety block block block. That's the song she needs to be singing. This is from a young man in the 18 to 21 age group from Tallahassee, Florida. Okay, so my fiance and I have been together for nearly 7 years. What? What they got together when they was like 13, middle school? Our wedding date is coming up in June. She is 20, I am 21. So wait, 7 years, so that means, yeah, like 14. Over the past several months, she has been growing more hostile and has been very rude all around. Now, this is not to say it's 24/7, but enough to feel the weight. Simple incidences such as not knowing if I want to go somewhere at a later date within an hour of her asking is now met with a minimum an hour of degrading words. Wow. Now, I've always been the one of us to hold my head and work till things are actually talked through and a solution has been found for the problem. Recently, these instances seem to to appear at best mild annoyances, and she will begin to insult me about things that have nothing to do with why she's actually mad, just as a means to hurt me or get a reaction. I can't figure out which. So finally, for the first time in over 6 years, I told her to shut up after about an hour of verbal abuse. Now I'm a villain, and I'm always right, sarcastically. I'm now apparently disrespectful as well, and she says that I have now called her a quote, terrible fiance, which I am completely certain I did not say. I'm the one in my friends and family that people come to when arguments because I won't just tell you that you are okay. I will honestly tell you what I feel is in the wrong, which is not uncommonly then, and I will mediate to help work out the situation. I have integrity and have always owned up to what I say, so she always said it was something she loved about me. I really don't know what to do, and I need help because I feel almost as though she's trying to make me break things off. Please help me. Yeah, dude, let me just explain to you what's going on. She doesn't want to get married. She doesn't know how to tell you, though. Um, she's torn. First of all, you guys have been together since you was practically like just learning to do cursive writing. That's too long in this age group. I know you guys love each other and all this kind of stuff here, but it's that kind of relationship at that young of an age just limits you. I'm not saying you have to be hip, ho hopping around and be with a whole bunch of different people. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying being stuck with one person limits your ability to interact with other people of both genders and to travel around and do things because you're always considering that person's needs and staying close to that person, so you're not going to branch out the way that you really should when you're that young. That's what I'm saying. So before anybody in the chat room starts going crazy, that's what I'm saying. It limits you. It clips your wings. You can't move and shake like you want to because you're always concerned about that person, and that person tends to act like kind of like an albatross around your neck. Now you want her to get married. She hasn't been with any other man. She's only been looking at you. You haven't been with any other woman. You've only been looking at her. Both of you guys are kind of in a little box where you need to experience the rest of the world. Am I saying you have to bed hop? I'm not saying that once again, but you should at least interact with other people. A lot of people would limit that kind of interaction because they don't want their spouse to get jealous or, to cause problems. So you wouldn't have any female friends. You wouldn't associate with the girls in your class and, the other couples and stuff like that because it causes drama. That's what I'm saying. Thank you. Yeah, Cash App is just not doing well like it should all the time. But that's what I'm saying, young man. So, really think about this and think about the different opportunities that you've both missed out on to grow and learn and expand your mind, expand your horizons, have different kinds of friendships, learn different opinions and see different angles of life because of the fact that you were in this relationship at such a young age. So what's going on with her is that she doesn't know how to tell you that she doesn't want to get married. She's probably worried about if she says that, her parents are going to be mad, your parents are going to be mad, all the guests are going to be mad, you're going to be heartbroken, she's going to be confused and heartbroken herself. It's just going to be a hot mess. So, what I suggest that you do, and this just came to me, I used to see this movie. Thanks, DC. I would see this movie. I used to watch this movie called Brown Sugar. It starred Taye Diggs and Sanaa Lathan, Queen Latifah, uh, Boris Kojo. I mean, it had like, with big stars that were big stars at the time. I love that movie. I have it on a DVD and I watch it at least once a year. Now, at the end, he did this thing, and this is what I want you to do. He took this paper and he wrote two boxes on it, and he says, "Will you go out with me?" Box one, yes. Box two, no. Right. So what your box is gonna say is your two boxes are gonna say, do you want to cancel the wedding and continue to date? Or box two is, do you want to cancel the wedding and break up? And make sure she knows that there's no hard feelings either way. She needs to really make a decision. And doing it that way where she doesn't have to say anything, all she has to do is check the box, then she'll be able to hopefully be able to let you know where her heart really is. But that's what I think is going on. Does it mean she met somebody else? No. It just means that she's realized that she's not ready. She doesn't really want this. She's doing it because of that good girl thing that we raised under. Well, this is what you do, and you don't hold around. And if you have this boyfriend, this is what you sleep with him, then you get married to him because you can't be like a trollop and all this kind of stuff. That's what she's operating under. So she's feeling like this is what she needs to do. This is what's expected of her, but you have to give her an out because she's not ready, okay? And if she's not ready, it's going to be a hot mess just like what you're experiencing right now. You love that movie too? Yes, honey, I love that little dance he does. All right. Let's move on to question number 3. Female, 22 to 30, Calgary, Canada. My boyfriend constantly lies about little things. It's really for no reason, except he says after the lies come to light that he just, quote, wanted to avoid a fight, end quote. I have expressed that my top value in a relationship is honesty. He wouldn't even own up to having lied, despite me saying I know he lied until I presented him with evidence. He says he just lies about little things because he's afraid to ruin our relationship or upset me. I want to forgive him and continue the relationship because I love him so much, but I just don't want to be lied to anymore. What advice would you have for me here? Thank you. This is a simple one. You in love with a liar. Even though you claim that that's your top thing, your top value in a relationship is honesty. Your mouth is saying that, but your behavior is saying something else. Your behavior is saying, well, yeah, I'd like to say that, but I don't really mean it because I know that you're a liar. I've caught you numerous times. I even show you the evidence that you're a liar. You don't admit it and you continue to lie. So you have to decide. You're either going to stop talking about this honesty stuff because that's a lie. You lying to yourself now. Or you're going to just break up with him and say, look, you lie too much. I can't be bothered with you. I want a man who's honest with me, and you just lie just because it's more convenient. You want to avoid reality. You want to avoid the repercussions of your behavior, so you lie to me. Now, magnify, I'm see you thinking this is little stuff, okay? Wait until if you got married to him and had kids and stuff. And now you all tied up with dude. And he's going to continue in this trend, and you can't say nothing because he would have already showed you his character. He is a liar, and he is an avoider of issues. That is not a good bet for a husband. Okay, and one thing you have to do when you're married is be able to hash stuff out because it's not really so much that you guys get along so well, it's that you are able to compromise, negotiate, and problem solve together. Those are the strongest and the best couples when they can resolve their issues amicably and come out on the other side of it still smiling, still in love, and still working on their relationship. You have a guy who is one notch, one lie by a not one lie, destroying your relationship. I don't know what it is that you're doing and why you think that this is something that you should stay with, because your first sentence is, my boyfriend constantly lies about little things. That's your first sentence. Constantly is the word that you used. I'm not putting that, it's right here on the paper. So you have some thinking to do. You claim, like I said, that that's your top value, yet you're in a relationship with someone who, quote, constantly lies. So I'm not really sure what it is that you think you have or what you're going for here, but it's very confusing to me. And I think you're fooling yourself and you're acting hella thirsty, like this the only man on the planet and you have to be with him. Like there's nobody else that you could be with but this lying fool. Hmm. You have some deep thinking to do, girlfriend. Question number 4. Female, 22 to 30, Tucson, Arizona. Last night, my guy friend, who identifies as a feminist, called his ex a B word. Whoa. I brought that up as he is a cis dude, shouldn't speak like that about women. Oh, God, she's using that term. I hate that word. He clarified that he uses it across the spectrum of gender toward anyone who is, quote, acting like a child. Okay, fine. But then he took the issue with the fact that I told him he shouldn't do something and said he could, quote, get riled up by being told what he can and cannot do. He said that if I had been offended and politely asked him not to speak like that, he would have understood. But because I was telling him what to do, he couldn't engage in discourse. Hmm. We resolved it. I said, I understand he uses it in a different way. And he said he didn't mean to make it a big deal. Everything was cool. But I woke up this morning feeling massively gaslit and like I didn't even want to be around him. Not because of the word, the way to buckle down on the word be for some weird reason, though, but because of how he reacted to my feelings. I did not feel seen, heard, or respected. I feel railroaded. I'm a little pissed with myself that I didn't stand up more. I want to tell him this, but now I'm worried if I bring it up again, it will be a thing. He'll assume I'm mad about the word and can't let it go. My issue is that I feel like he's another dude who speaks to hear himself talk and refuses to listen. But I'm like, you need to work on yourself. The way you digested my words and then treated me shows that I can't talk to you when I have an opinion. My feelings won't be respected because I threatened your ego. We should be able to have a mature conversation regardless, and I was trying to put up some boundaries. So I need some advice. How do I tell him this in a chill way so that I can stand being in the same room with him again? Hmm. Well, I'm like, why do you need to be? See, you're at that age, you in the 22 to 30 age group. You don't say where in that age range you are, but I've said this numerous times on this show. Right around between 26 and 28 years old, women shed friends. The friends that met your needs prior to that, sometime around that age, you kind of wake up, you have a reckoning, and you realize that they don't fit with you anymore. They have a different kind of vibe, they have a different understanding, they have different values, different morals, and this is a perfect example of it. You don't want the man that's in your life, that's your friend, referring to any woman by the B word, and I don't blame you. You know, if that's something that's a value that you have, he should respect that instead of trying to argue you down and justify his use of doing something that you find to be majorly offensive. This is a respect issue. This is not you telling him what to do. This is you demanding your respect. Now, if you're going to approach him, I suggest that you do this, okay, because I threatened your ego. That's not how you talk to people. You don't tell them why they did something because you don't know why they did it. You don't know what they was feeling or thinking. You not a mind reader. You not jumping in their body, knowing what's going on with them. That is a surefire way to cause a big fight. Like if somebody said that to me, like you did this and that because blah 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 blah. No, bitch, that's your interpretation of it. That don't mean nothing over here. You didn't ask me why I did it, so you don't really know. You just jumping to conclusion and running off down around the world with your jump to conclusions. If you want to know why I did something, you need to ask me. That's what communication is called. Okay. So see, for me, if someone approached me like the way what you wrote here, you would get cussed out. and the relationship would be over, which probably is okay with you anyway, because he sounds like he's stupid. But just for future reference, that's not how you approach people if you have a problem with something that they said or did that impacts you. You don't come to conclusions about why they did something. You ask them why they did something, and you listen to what their explanation is. Okay, now you then at that point can agree or disagree. You can tell them at that point, well, I understand that that's your point, but I'm telling you how it lands on me. I don't like it. I don't want you to talk to me like that. And that's your right to say that to someone. And then at that point, you two can decide if you want to negotiate that and stay friends, or if it's time to jump up to check up the deuces and be out. Um, but what I'm hearing here is you not only that you want to be heard, but you want him to change. And I'm thinking this that ain't gonna happen. He seems like he's dug in his heels, and that's what he wants to do. So at this point, it's most likely that this relationship, this friendship you have, is going to slowly fade away, and then you two won't be friends anymore. Which, like I said, happens a lot in this age group. Question number 5. This is a female in the 50 to 59 age group from Houston, Texas. I've sort of reached a crossroads in my relationship with my boyfriend of 18 months. Sometimes he just cares too much and at least feels like he is overly controlling. I've discussed this with him and he backs off a bit for a time. I really don't think he intends to be overly controlling, however, it really feels that way. His caring can extend anything from anything what I do on a particular day to what I eat, to any myriad of decisions one makes for themselves each and every day. Hmm. While we do love each other and seem compatible on many different levels, this aspect of his personality is really grating on me since I'm a very independent person. I can function well in a committed relationship since I was married for almost 30 years before my husband passed away, and he allowed me to do my own thing to a large extent without remarking or suggesting. Some people might feel like this is just a lot of caring, and it's an example of how much he loves me, which is what he says. But in my world, it feels like control. How does one know the difference between caring and controlling? You don't need to know the difference. See, you're looking for an outside definition of what's caring and controlling. You decide that. Only you. So he's portraying it as caring gestures. And to me, it would be something that would get on my nerves. It would make me edgy. It would be like, get out of my face. Stop trying to tell me what to do. I ate what I ate and I drank what I drank and I went where I went. Shut up and leave me alone. See, that's what he would get from me. And he would come ask me all this stuff and I would just look at him. And then, well, did you eat breakfast? I would just look at him. Well, what is it? Well, I wonder how I lived my life all these 50 years before I ever laid eyes on you. I wonder how that happened. I would say sarcastic shit like that to him, just to be like, make him feel stupid. And then I would just be looking at him. I wouldn't answer those questions. I would just give him snark and then just look at him. And after a while, he would get tired of getting snarky looks, comments, and dreadful looks, and then he would stop. If he wouldn't stop and that was getting on my nerves enough, then I would break up with him. That's me. I don't want to be. I don't like my nerves bothered. I don't like it. Leave me alone. But so like I said, you decide if it's controlling. I mean, he could be this one way, but it's landing on you as feeling like he's choking the life out of you. He's trying to control what you do. So you just tell him, I don't like it when you do blah blah blah. I want you to stop. If you don't stop, it's making me feel, really uncomfortable in this relationship, and it might be the end for us because I can't stand it. You put up your boundary and you let him know how serious you are and see what he does. You don't have to put up with that. I don't know. See, me, I'm like, these dudes just be doing the most. But you do at least owe him an explanation and a request that he stop. Explain to him how it makes you feel and then request that he stop doing it, that you lived all your life, all these years, all them decades before you met him and you were just fine. And so you need him to back off because you're not a child and you're a grown woman. You know how to handle your business. And then see what he does. Okay. Question number 6. This is a male in the 22 to 30 age group from Chicago. I think my girlfriend's friends are a bad influence to her that might lead her to cheating on me or being endangered. Oh boy. What can I do to encourage her to get better friends or encourage them to be safer? You, Mr. 22 to 30, can mind your damn business. That's what you can do. She's a grown woman. She don't need you looking after her. You ain't her daddy. You're not her supervisor. Okay, she does not need you to tell her anything about what she's doing. Now, if she wants to have those kind of friends, that's her business. You don't like your woman having them kind of friends, you know what to do. Okay, you can't change grown people. You know, those were her friends probably before she ever met you. And you trying to like say that, trying to put your, just like to do, that must be why Candace put them together. Trying to present your controlling nature as caring, but it's just controlling. You trying to control her friends, control where she goes, control what she does with your quote caring. I know that trick. That's not going to work. You're going to cost yourself a relationship if she has any sense. She's going to be like, no, I'm not, You don't tell me what to do. Her to get better for those friends that you want her to have. That's what you're saying. So see, don't you understand that this is you're the very controlling person? You need to sit your ass down, sir. Sit yourself down, get your Game Boy, whatever remote control in your hands, and you worry about that. Okay, you don't worry about what she's doing with her friends. Those are women. That's women's business. They don't have nothing to do with you. And if you can't trust her enough that you think that she would go out somewhere with her friends and cheat on you, then you with the wrong woman. Either that or you needed some couch time. Once something is wrong, but again, that you chose her, so that reverts to you, that you're responsible for this. Either you chose the wrong woman or you have some mental issues and you need some shrink time. Either way, it's your problem. It's not hers. So you think about that. Question number 7. Question number 7, female 21 to 26 from, what is this? Midlothian. I don't know. Hey, Deb, thank you for answering my question. I'm a 21-year-old female living in Virginia. I still live with my mom. I have a curfew of 6 p.m. every day. What? At 21? So I really don't get to go out. I also don't have a job. I had applied for a job in September and gotten an offer, but my mother demanded that I do not accept the job offer, and she told me to file for unemployment. I also recently graduated from college with my bachelor's in mathematics. Ooh, go girl. The problem is that now I'm at home bored to death and I feel like I should be doing something. I'm also about to start on my master's in engineering this semester, but I really want to work and get my own place while working on my master's. I want to start having real responsibilities as a young adult and stop being treated like a baby all the time. I'm the only child. My mom doesn't want that, and she just wants me to stay at home and live with her instead. I also want to go out and do what 20-something-year-olds do at this time. I've never been to a party before. What? In your whole life? I also want to travel with my boyfriend, which she also doesn't want me to do. Please help, Deb. I want to live my life, but at the same time, my mom seems like she's very controlling. I feel trapped. I don't know where to start. What should I do? First of all, oh my God, you need to find yourself a job. Put off going to back to school for, I don't know, for 6 months, a year. I mean, these days most of the schools are online anyway. So what difference does it make? Find you a job. Get you a job. Work your job. Get you a bank account. Get you a post office box. Have your mail, all your mail concerning your job and your pay stubs, your tax return, everything at your post office box. And that's where you have your stuff sent. You got to start separating yourself from your mother. Okay. I'm really surprised at her just overt, like trying to put you in a cage. This is really kind of sick. You're gonna have to find some courage somewhere, young lady, to stand up to her, because otherwise you're gonna end up one of those old women at house with her mother, taking care of her mother, changing her mother's diapers, never having been anywhere or done anything that pleased her in her life, giving up her entire life for someone else's, under someone else's control. So you're going to have to tell your mother, look, I'm 21 years old. I'm going to be working. And then when I get enough money, I'm going to move out. I want you to start working on stuff so you have a life that does not include me. Friends, activities, hobbies, interests, classes, whatever it is that you need to do to have a life, go and start making that happen. I cannot and I refuse to give you my life. I'm not going to do that, Mom. I love you to death. I will come and visit you and we will talk frequently. But I have to move on. I have to live my life as an adult. This is something I owe myself, and it's something that I owe you too. And, she's going to have a hard time with it because she's really globbing onto you for some reason. It sounds like she's super lonely and she's scared. She's scared to be by herself. And so that's why you got to give her notice that this is what's coming down the pipe. And, so she can start preparing herself and request that she, start investigating some options for her. Maybe she should go back to school. There's some stuff she needs to do for herself, and you stop listening to her. You want to get a job, get it. You want to move out, start saving your money. You know, get you a roommate, another female roommate. Get you guys a 2-bedroom place or something, so you're not in there by yourself. And, so you just moving, you're not used to living alone. So that's might be too much of a transition for you. So I would suggest that you get, rent a place with a female friend or someone that you know, and you have your bedroom and she have hers. You guys work out all the, kitchen responsibilities, cleanup duties and all that kind of stuff. And then, start your life as an adult. This is good. She's crippling you. And I mean, at least you have the idea to, that this is wrong, but you're going to have to find the courage to sit down with her and tell her, we're not going to do this anymore. I'm going to give myself about 6 months. And so you had that same 6 months. We got to start this transition for me to move out and start my life as an adult. And you're going to start your life as an empty nester. Okay. That's what you're going to have to do. This is very unfortunate that she's doing this to you. Wow. And this 6 p.m. curfew, you don't have a curfew at 21. You an adult. She can't tell you what to do. And if she wants to do that kind of stuff, then say, look, I'm gonna come home when I come home. It'll be before 2 a.m. But or I might stay at my boyfriend's all night. Young women tend to do that. And then if she doesn't like it and she starts threatening, you say, well, then I can move out now then. That's what that means. So you decide either I move out in 6 months or you want to try to keep me in a choke chain. I will move out now. So which would you prefer? You can give her something to think about so she really understands that you really are serious about this. This is sad. Okay, stand up. Get your grown woman on. Question number 8. This is a male in the 22 to 30 age group from Philly. I'm 26. My girlfriend's 28. We have been dating for about a year now. We live together in our own place. The problem here is that she shows no type of affection. Anytime I attempt to touch her in any way, whether it be hold her hand, hold her waist, hug, kiss, etc., she seems to get uneasy or annoyed and subtly pushes me away. It's so frustrating. I've tried to talk to her about it and it hasn't helped. I don't force anything or overwhelm her by trying constantly. Other than that, we get along great when we are together. When we do have eggplant, which is maybe once a month, I'm the one who initiates and normally I'm turned down, but when we do, it's great, which she has told me herself. I just want her to make me feel like we are actually in a relationship. What should I do? Move out. Sometimes people are, quote, in a relationship because they have some need that's being met. Like for her, it might be housing. You didn't say what her prior situation was, but maybe she just needed a place to stay and moving in with you was convenient at that moment. But now she realizes that she doesn't really like it. Either that or she just really realizes that she doesn't really like you that much anymore, but she doesn't have any place to go, so she just sticks around and tolerates it. But nobody, especially at 26, should be tolerating this kind of treatment. This is the kind of shit that happens to you when you like in your 70s or something. But not at 26, okay? So you need to have a sit down with girlfriend and say, look, this has been going on for so many months. I mean, I'm getting a feeling like you don't really want this relationship anymore. Why don't you have the courage enough to say it? And then so we can start making plans to split up and go our separate ways. No animosity, no hard feelings. But, this is not the kind of relationship I want. It's not meeting my needs. You seem real pressed as well. So neither one of us are happy here. So it's time to do something about it. You the man, take charge. Okay? Step up. No, Natalie, she flying in the air and she flying on the ground to get here in time. Okay, yeah, this is not gonna work, dude. Question 9, female, 22 to 30, from Auckland, New Zealand. I met this guy on an online dating site. We texted for a few days and then we met in person for a coffee date. It went well. He said right there he wanted to see me again. So after a few days, we met up again, but between the first and the second date, he didn't communicate much and takes ages to respond to a text. Now, after the second date is the same. I'm not saying that he has to text a lot or that texting quickly is required, but he doesn't call either. And I feel I would like to communicate more in between dates, especially when we don't have that much time or opportunities to meet. During the day, I think it's okay because he has a busy job, and even when he leaves work and in the evening, he still takes ages to respond to a text. I'm starting to think he's married or attached because if not, he's probably not much into me. He says he is a single guy living on his own. What do you think? Thanks. I think that he's probably seeing, several different women on his online dating adventures, and I think that's what you should be doing. Because it sounds to me like you having all these expectations of him being like a boyfriend, where he's supposed to text you back on a certain time. Otherwise, we having a problem. And he's supposed to text you back. And he's supposed to call. And he's supposed to have all this stuff. That ain't your man. You tripping. Okay? You went on 2 dates with some clown. One of them was just coffee. So that was just like a meet and greet. That really doesn't even count as a date to me. But you have all these expectations. All the stuff that you talk about that he should be doing and that he's not doing and how it's disappointing you. He's a single guy and he lives alone. What does that mean? A single dude, he's dating around. He's dating probably several different women. He's not committed to you. He don't owe you nothing. You're confused. So what you have to do is go back on the dating site and start going out with other men. You should be dating at least 3 people, all at the same time. Sleeping with them, I did not say that. Dating. That means going out and getting to know them. Okay, so you wouldn't be so focused on this one knucklehead that you met. He ain't nothing. He ain't done nothing for you to be putting all this emotion into. You doing too much. Oh, it's okay because he has a busy job. It's okay any day, anytime, whenever, because he ain't your man. Okay, you don't get to regulate on him like that. She is just doing way, super way too much. All right, question number 10. This is from a young man in the 22 to 30 age group, Montgomery, Alabama. Deb, does this mean that it's over? My girlfriend of 4 months stopped replying to my text when I told her the last time I saw her that I cannot accept her 6-year-old daughter. I just want to be with her and only her. Her final text to me was goodbye. Should I go to her house to see what's up? No, you should not. You should accept that your big mouth wrote a check that your ass now has the cash. What mother do you think is not going to have her 6-year-old daughter with her and then take your dusty ass instead? You are tripping. You lucky that's all she said is goodbye. I would still be cussing you out. What you think she's supposed to do with the girl? Put her in a Ziploc bag and mail her somewhere? See, people with this kind of attitude, you knew she had a child. Okay, when a mother and a child or a father and a child, whoever's the custodial parent, that's a package deal. You don't get one without the other. That's just the way it is. So you sound like you need to date somebody that don't have no kids. But I'm really kind of concerned because you are the kind of dude that when you married and stuff, and then when your wife does get pregnant and have a baby, you be jealous of the baby. There's lots of men like that. They're jealous of their own children. They don't want the woman to nurse the children because they feel like the boobies are theirs. All kind of crazy stuff I've heard women say that their husbands have said to them. So I kind of peeped that about you. You're very self-centered and selfish, and you want mommy all to yourself. You need to grow up, sir. Because if you want the woman, you're going to take the daughter too. You would do better to figure out how kind of way to love the little girl and embrace her and make her, a part of your love that you share with the woman. She will love you more if you love her child. If you show her child respect and courtesy and try to play with her and, talk to her and educate her, teach her stuff and stuff like that, she'll love you more. But right now, what you did was drive a wedge between her and you by trying to, throw your weight around after 4 months, thinking that you was gonna regulate on somebody and tell them they get rid of their kids so they can have you. Ain't nobody want you like that. You don't. Isn't that sad? I'm telling you, I would still be cussing him out. Still. It would be 2 weeks later, and every time I woke up, I would start cussing you out again. You stupid. Question number 11. This is from a female in the 26 to 29 age group from Whittier, California. Can you help me improve my behavior in this situation? I'm 29 and I met a 25-year-old guy through a dating app on December 1st. He was so fine, he seemed out of my league. He asked me out on a date. Once there, he pulled out his phone and deleted his dating apps in front of me, which were shockingly a lot, about 7. Oh, he did he? Dude is smooth with a V. He then turned to me and said, I'm all yours now. Oh, yes. Well, honey, he been practicing his game. I didn't pull out my phone or delete my account at that time. During our time in his car, I must admit I did not act correctly. I asked if I could touch his chest. He let me. Oh, I bet he did. This is him with his fishing pole, and you on the end of it, reeling you on in, and you don't even know what's happening. This is funny. Okay, we kissed for a bit, and the night consisted of him asking if we were in a relationship. Dude is good. Are you guys hearing this? Okay, this dude is good. This is good. He's put what normally would take place over 2 dates into one. He hit her with everything with both barrels, and she just eating it up. Girlfriend, okay, you know I got to talk about you. Let's read on. I shrugged and said yes. No. Wait, why are you 4 years older than him and you don't know these games? He said we made out in the backseat of my car and both got to second base. He said he wanted to be together forever and have kids one day and to move in together. Soon he put out a box of 30 condoms and asked if I wanted to get a room. I wanted to, but didn't want to seem so easy, so I declined. This is like a comedy. Yeah, he ain't even that slick, but it is. I'm just really enjoying his game, the game he's running. Because if that was me, I would have just been like looking at him, and then I would have had to hit him with some of mine. But this is funny. Okay, so he was respectful about it and then just wanted to cuddle the rest of the night. He got COVID thereafter and was quarantined for 2 weeks. We would talk on the phone every day. I started to develop feelings for him. Damn, this boy is good. I even sent him gifts via Amazon while he was quarantined so that he would feel better. This motherfucker right here. He then suggests we celebrate New Year's in a hotel room. He asked me to pay for it and that he would give me half the next time we met. I stupidly agreed. He suggests we take my car. Before the big day, I create a fake account on the dating app to check if he was on it, and sure enough, he was online. I noticed he remained online even while talking to me. I sent him a kind of racy message with a fake account to see if he would respond, and he did. I contacted him via text to let him know I canceled the room and that I could not continue. He never replied. A few days go by, he still never replied. New Year's comes and I stupidly reach out to wish him a happy new year and to apologize for my behavior on our first date. He doesn't reply. Another week passes and he responds, sorry for the late response. I was just sad. I still like you. Damn, this boy is good. I told him I liked him very much, but that there were clues to walk away. He asked for the clues, and I responded that I would let the next girl figure them out. He laughed. I said goodbye, and that was that. We haven't spoken since. I think about him 24/7. I know I'm stupid, but I still have feelings for this dude. Please slap sense into me. This shit, I would laugh more, but my throat is sore. Dude is like, for him to only be 25, come on now, y'all. He's been schooled by some older cats. His shit is tight. It's bogus, but it's you know, it's smooth. That's what I mean. He's smooth with it. He slides that stuff on in there. So somebody who didn't, wasn't really up on the game, really wouldn't probably recognize it. Okay, the first mistake you made at almost 30, dealing with a guy who's only 25. What were you doing? 25-year-olds are hoes. I done told y'all. You don't any man in his 20s really they don't get any sense until they get about mid 30s. Okay, and some of them are still questionable, but at least they've gotten most of the raggediness out of their system. Okay, but at 25, that he's in whole land. There's nothing here for you except a mouse on the mattress. Okay, you see he's all over the online dating, so still collecting numbers and doing whatever he's doing. That should have told you something right there. Okay. Then he made that big production about deleting the apps off of his phone. Like he can't just go and reinstall them from Google Play or Apple whatever when he gets back to his house. That was smooth. Wasn't that smooth? That was smooth as hell. And you are looking all brand new and excited about that. From this little motherfucker right here. Okay, then he says, "I'm all yours now." And you bit. Talking if you are in a relationship, okay, you've been out with this man for 20 minutes, and now you in a relationship. You went along with that. You supposed to tell him, hell no, we ain't in no relationship. I don't even know your middle name. You tripping? Don't be trying to play them games with me, boy. Stop, for real. That's what you're supposed to tell him. He would have laughed, and then he probably would have tried to be at least halfway real the rest of the night. I'm not saying that was going to be his real thing. Okay, so, but so then you get together and you start going to first base, second base, and home runs and whatnot. He's trying to hit. Who carries around a 30-pack of condoms? Oh, this letter is like comedy. I'm just like, who does that? You know, dude, for real. He trying to save money. He went to Costco. I got the big box. Oh my God. This is just hilarious to me. And then he got COVID. Oh. So what does that do? That gives him out. See, this is a technique. When you meet somebody and you want them to think about you and fantasize about you and fall in love with their fantasies, this is what you do. You either go on a business trip, which I mean, it might be legit. You have some place that you have to be where they can't get to you. In his case, he created an illness. So he's locked away for the 14 days or whatever it is, 10 days, whatever. And so it had the same effect. So this is a well-known player move. I mean, this is like, I mean, it's not even really a player move. It's just like a psychological human tactic that when people miss and people want most what they can't have. It's that, but in a different scale. And so you can't have access to him. So you sit there, you fantasize about him. Oh, he was so fine, and he said this, and we in a relationship now. So this is my man. So I'm gonna send him presents. I'm gonna spend my money. I'm gonna do this and that. Ooh, imagine he probably got 15, 20 women was doing that same thing and sending him stuff while he's allegedly sick with COVID, while he's sitting there on his couch playing video games and just collecting gifts from Amazon. Okay, well, anyway, all of this stuff, whatever. The bottom line here is yes, you say you're stupid, but you have feelings for his dude. You don't have any feelings for him. You have some fantasies that you live in, and that is because you were lonely, and that's why you was on the online dating site in the first place, to try to meet somebody because you're lonely. So get back on the dating site, block him, go and meet some other man. Don't go out with anybody who's not at least in their mid-30s, and then let's do this, okay? If you see them running game like this on you the next time, you say, I don't feel like all that, and you block them and you move on to the guy who's going to be real with you. That's how you avoid wasting your time and your emotions. So, you're almost 30 years old. You're too old for this. Come on now. You cannot be living your life like this and falling for these little games. So some little 20-something-year-old boy is running on you. This is kind of embarrassing. I mean, luckily you wrote it to me, and it's all anonymous and all this kind of stuff here. Don't you tell your friends this happened. Don't you tell nobody in your family, because you will be clowned into oblivion. Don't do that. Yeah, he wasn't even fake. He was real, but he ain't shit. So it's like any fantasy that she, had in her mind about them being in a relationship, and when she got this fine thing and he's out of her league, that's the kind of women they tend to go for, because they want you to have that feeling that he's blessing you with his presence. So you will do more in order to keep this good-looking fine specimen in your life. But I'm like, I don't care what I look like. I'm always the finest one in the relationship, and any man who thinks that he looks better than me, he got to go. No, You can't have hair longer than mine. You can't have more jewelry on than me. And you can't be trying to be more, you can't wear makeup like me. You can't do those kinds of things. We don't do that. Your nails can't be longer than mine. All kind of stuff have all kind of rules. But you better look like a man and you better act like one. And that's just how it is. Thanks, A. I'm telling you. Mm-mm. So there, I hope you feel adequately slapped. Get yourself together, girlfriend. Question 12. This is from a young man in the 31 to 39 age group from Portland. I have recently reconnected with an old school friend via social media after a long period of time, which although is great, it has stirred up some very old emotions. At school, I suppose I was in love with her, but never had the courage to do anything about it. It probably sounds ridiculous, but after 30 plus years, all the feelings and emotions have returned. I am currently in a relationship, but have been unhappy for quite a while, which probably sounds like a cliche, but is the absolute truth. At this moment in time, I'm absolutely terrified of the reality facing me. This has brought home how unhappy I am in my current situation. I know I need some time on my own, but that's the thing I'm most terrified of. Do you have any tips for me? Yeah, stop being a weenie and grow a pair. Okay, what you see, this is, they guys want to say that women need men more than we need. That is so not true. Men need women. That's why they stay in relationships that are so foul and funky and then get upset when a woman can't stand it anymore and either breaks up or files for divorce. That's why they say, women always file for divorce. Yes, because we want to be free of you. You would rather stay in a sick and twisted and unhappy relationship than be by yourself. That's how you know that men like to be, they need women more than women need men. And you see a man who's single and he can't stand to be by himself for 1 minute. He just goes from woman to woman, woman to woman, woman to woman. And you all will think, well, he's a player, he's this. It's because he can't stand to be by himself. He can't stand his aloneness. He can't stand looking at himself, hearing his own voice, eating alone. They can't stand themselves. They need a woman to buffer the hate they have for themselves or something. I don't know what that's about. But that's what's going on with you, sir. You need to grow a pair. Okay, have the courage to tell the lady that you in this horrible situation with, that you're not happy and that you want to break up. Get your own place if you're living together, or if you don't, then just get your key back or whatever y'all need to do. Get your stuff from her house and call it quits. Okay, now this thing with the other woman, you can't just bounce back, bounce to her. It's like a rebound. You would be using her. She doesn't deserve that. It's nice that she brought those feelings back and you feel them and everything like that, but I don't think it would be fair to her, and it's probably not healthy for you either, to try to go over there and deal with her when you're still reeling from the end of this other relationship. Give yourself time to get all those feelings addressed. Get your mind right. And then if you want to approach her or any other woman, you'll be ready to do that, and you'll be, healed enough for a real relationship and able to give of yourself emotionally. Right now, you are about to go through a very, serious, you're going to be grieving the loss of that relationship, and you're going to be hurting, and she's going to be hurting, and it's going to be a bad scene. No breakup is pleasant. Okay, let's just be real. But, think about it, what you need to do to separate yourself from her and start putting those things in place so that you can make the break. Okay. And then if you need to, get yourself some counseling and, help you deal with it, and then move on to your next phase of your life. Okay. You're a young cat. You all right. How old are you? What, you only in your 30s? Yeah, you only in your 30s. Child, please, you still have milk breath. You got many, 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 many years to go. And you're in the perfect age now where women are going to be all over you. You should have some money. Hopefully you kept your body together so you look like something. If not, get you some weights and stuff. Get you some kettlebells. That's what you need. You can do that workout in 5 square feet in your house. That's all you need. And you can get a good workout with 2 kettlebells. Okay, so make that happen. Question number 13, female 22 to 30 from Mississauga, Mississauga, I don't know how to pronounce this, Canada. My friend has been telling me for months that she would like to break up with her boyfriend, who she's in a long distance relationship with. I encouraged her decision as the relationship was making her feel extremely low and was taking a toll on her mental health. She wanted to break up with him amicably, and yesterday evening finally had the guts to do it. This morning, she received a suicide text from him, to which she panicked and called him, could not get through, and called his brother. His brother informed her that he had died. Hours later, at the hospital, she was informed that he had actually survived his attempt and was recovering. Well, that's quite a big difference, don't you think? This is some BS. The family are now blaming her for his suicide attempt, as his note clearly stated that her breaking up with him was the reason why he didn't want to live any longer. He has messaged her this evening and thinks that she will stay with him since this has happened. She is even more scared of him now, frightened to stay, and does not want to be in a relationship with him still. Please tell me how to advise her on how to leave this relationship. I've told her that even though what has happened, if she stays, she will give him false hope. However, I truly understand the situation is hard to leave when someone is in a vulnerable place after a suicide attempt. Okay, first of all, the fact that his brother said that he died and then of course he recovered and he's now in the hospital, that's game. His whole family's in on it just to manipulate her and coerce her back into being with him. Secondly, let me just refresh my mind. Okay, your friend is in the 22 to 30 age group, and this guy is in his late 30s. Okay, first of all, that's too old for her to be messing with. That's too old. Why was she even dating somebody on the downstroke to 40? That's like, I mean, in some parts of this world, he could be her daddy, because people be having kids at 13 and 14 years old. You know what I mean? That's too old. Now, what you should do is get your friend's phone and then where his number is and where his brother's number is, block both of them. No, 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 because they might have one of the other family members on. Come tell your friend that she needs to change her number. That's what your friend needs to do. She needs to change her phone number and call whoever her carrier is and have her number changed that tomorrow. Have her change her number so they can't call her anymore. Because your friend is that they see people only try that kind of stuff when they know that you're that bleeding heart kind of person that would give a damn about if he killed himself. I would be like, well, too bad you didn't succeed. You're a failure at everything. You're a failure at life. You're a failure at relationships. And you're a failure. You can't even commit suicide right. Why do you think I would want to be with you? You're a fucking loser. Nothing you do is right. The relationship was all kinds of jacked up, and then you want to try to keep me in it? Using threats and talking about you're going to kill yourself? I hope you do. I hope you kill yourself 5 times. I can't stand you. Die and then come back to life and kill yourself again. You trifling piece of shit. And tell your donkey ass brother of yours and your raggedy ass mama, I don't give a fuck if you live or die. Now, I'm telling you, you can't do nothing right. You can't even kill yourself right. Stupid idiot. That's what I would do. And your friend, you really need to advise her that this is game. Okay, they're running game on her, and the only reason that it's working is because she gives a shit. She broke up with him. He's old ass, and that's something else you could tell him too. It's like, I don't know what in the world I was doing with you with your old fucking ass. You like practically need been gay and shit. Your back is always fucked up, and you old as hell. What are you doing trying to deal with somebody in their 20s? Oh, fucking grandpa, leave me alone. I'm not trying to deal with you. Stuff like that. Talk about his age. Talk about his gray pubes, because in his 40s he's getting some. As much as you could use the Grecian formula and stuff on it, it starts happening right around that age. Yeah, it's not pleasant. You don't like the way it looks, but it is what it is. So you could talk about that too. You could talk about how his skin's starting to sag. You could talk about how he's getting moves and belly. You could talk about all kind of stuff about him, because that's what happens to men in 40s that don't take care of themselves. And he's sitting up there trying to have a long distance relationship with somebody half his age. Get out of here, oh fucker. I'm just saying, I don't even know what I said. I've seen it in the chat where they're kind of quoting me, but I don't even think about the stuff. It just flies out of my mouth. But this is just ridiculous. Your poor little friend, um, you know, this dude, he's just thirsty. Ugh, he's just gross. It's just nasty. I hate it when I see these old men trying to mess with young girls like that. But yeah, she need to change her number and tell her to get herself, like, if she can put that number on a Google, use that number on a Google line. Because I think, and once you might have to pay some money, but it'll be worth it. So they can call that number, call that voicemail. And like if she has employers or something that have that number, they can call it. And so she can pull the messages. But if she hears that it's them or, it shows you the message in text form, she can just go down and click the little box of messages that come from his area code and his family and press delete. She never even has to hear them. It just delete them. And then you can also block them from Google. From within Google, you can block numbers too. And then you can block their emails. Oh, it's just Google is like blockety block, block, block. They be on it. So you want some privacy features, honey, get you a Google phone number. That's why I should do an ad for them because I am a firm believer in that product. I cannot say enough good things about a Google phone. The Google phone number is just the best. Best thing ever for single women. So that was what I would tell her. And I would just read his ass right at. He would not want to talk to me when I got finished talking about his ass. You fucking failure. You fail at every damn thing. Loser. Who knows? You know what I mean? But they probably want to get, everybody, all the women listening, if you don't have a Google phone number, what you waiting on? Get you one. You must have this, especially those of you doing online dating. You can set it up so it rings to your phone like a second line, you know. They also have other kinds of apps that, on, I don't know, I guess they probably have it on Apple too, but they have other kind of apps that you can do. So it's like, like a phone number that you get. And it's not a real phone number, but, it's a little app. And then the dudes can call that. Honey, everybody, I am a firm believer every woman should have one of those kind of electronic, in the cloud phone numbers to protect yourself. You've got to have that. Okay, let's move on. I've had enough of his loser ass. Question 14, male 21 to 26 from Patterson, New Jersey. Me and my new girlfriend, well, no, he didn't say new. Where did I get new from? Me and my girlfriend had a big argument, and I would like to sort things out with her. She said she isn't speaking with me until I speak to someone and get help. It's all because I told her I would never lie to her, but I have. It wasn't a big lie, but I still lied. I was drinking energy drinks and unhealthy fizzy drinks, and she said I should stop. Yesterday, I promised to her that I would never drink them again, but today I went to the shops and bought one, and she found she found an empty can in my coat pocket. You wanted to get found out. You didn't even have enough sense to throw it away on the street somewhere. I know it's not a big thing to lie about, but I still lied. We had a massive argument in the house, and she went to our room, but I kept trying to get in to talk to her, and I was kicking the door and pushing it to get in. Also, we had problems before where I was getting jealous about her and her guy friend, but we sorted out this problem. I know that I will never get jealous again. Last night, she said she doesn't know why she is with me anymore because we have too much drama. I don't know how to make her trust me again because now she's not going to believe me for anything, although I would never cheat on her or lie to her about something more serious than this. Please, could you give me some advice? I really don't want to lose her because I love her. I know she loves me. Usually we're very happy together when we don't have these kinds of problems. It's always me making stupid mistakes. Well, stupid people do tend to make stupid mistakes. It's like a hand in hand kind of thing. Sounds to me like you need to grow up some, son. You don't need to be in a relationship. You need to grow up. Okay? You need to take some time and mature before you get into a relationship. Um, first of all, first of all, the reason what I say that is this. Okay, so you told her that you would never drink them again. You was lying when you said that. You weren't ever supposed to tell her that. You're supposed to tell her, I am a grown man. I will drink what I drink. You don't have to like it, but that's too bad. I don't regulate what you drink and eat, and you're not gonna regulate what I drink and eat either. Bet that's how it's gonna be. And then you go and drink as many fizzy drinks as you want to, because it's your body. Okay? But you didn't do that. You let her think that you was gonna do what she said, like you some little dog on a leash. Okay, so no woman is gonna respect you when you just let her run you like that. You said you have to stand up to her. Now, if you want to don't want to drink, oh, it's Amanda. If you don't want to drink the fizzy drinks for your own reason, then that's one thing. But you let some broad tell you what you can drink. Where they do that at? I don't understand you, young people. Okay, then this thing where you was getting jealous. See, that's an immaturity thing. It's especially if it's nothing to get jealous about. And number three, you feel like, she says that you guys have too much drama and she's done. Okay, so when a woman says that, that means it's over. You say you don't want to, you don't want to lose her, but you've done everything that you could to make that happen. So I don't understand why you think that she should stay with you when you lie to her and repeatedly and get jealous and do stupid stuff. No woman can respect a man who's constantly doing stupid stuff. She starts to roll her eyes and then she falls out of love with you because she sees you as a buffoon, a joke. No woman can love a man that she sees that way. Okay, so that's why I say you need to take some time when this is over, which is going to be very soon. Take some time and work on yourself and grow up. Okay. Question 15, female, 22 to 30 from Bristol, England. So to cut a long story short, I've been seeing this guy for a while now. Things seem to be going swimmingly. Oh, swimmingly. That was until I got a message on Instagram from someone informing me that they had slept with my boyfriend before Christmas. Wow. Before any of the viewers jumps on me about believing secondhand information, I saw the messages and screenshots never lie. I saw the proof. Plus, I saw the pics he sent, and some of them were even taken in my bathroom. Okay, y'all. Well, there you go. That's indisputable. I really wasn't surprised, to be honest. Most guys I've dated have cheated on me, so it wasn't my first. I kind of figured something was a little off. He never let his phone out of his sight. I mulled it over for a few days on what I should do. I eventually came to the realization that it was best to call him out, and this is where it got odd. I took the cowardly way out and just sent a text. I know what you are going to say, but I was also worried that I might end up saying something I regret or that he'd smooth talk me. I texted him, said I needed to say I was clear and polite. Told him I wasn't angry, just disappointed, 'cause I thought we were building something. I got the weirdest reply. Quote, "Oh, really? What a fantastic story." That was all he said. I never replied. We haven't spoken in 2 days. I spoke to my friends, some who've met him, and they were all shocked by it. But they all agreed that his response was very childish. I'm moving on from it. I've decided it's best to cut ties. The only thing I'm having a hard time with is why he didn't admit it or deny it. I know that makes me sound crazy, but I was expecting some sort of argument. But instead, I met with silence, although he has been watching my Instagram stories and liking all my pics. Was his response odd? Somehow it seems like he doesn't care that he cheated and that we over. He doesn't. That's the part you ladies don't get. If he cared, he wouldn't have cheated. Okay, so why you want him to care about the fact that he cheated? Does that make any sense in any kind of real world scenario? If he cared, he would not have cheated. So you want him to care that he cheated, and then you want to be surprised that he doesn't care. The one here that's confused is you. See me, my thing is this. Okay, if you know that if you cheat, our relationship is over, and then you cheat, that means you wanted it to be over, so I'm going to oblige you. That's what that means. You were just too cowardly to do it, so you did the behavior that you knew was going to cause the end of it so I could, take that next step. That's what that means. So there was no reason for him to argue with you about it. And what he did is working because see, you are sitting there now all after the fact, after he cheated on you and lied to you and you broke it off with him, you still thinking about him and he won because of that. Because you're still sitting there, not only are you pondering it and wasting more of your energy on him, but you writing to me. You wrote all kind of paragraphs. Oh, how long was I reading? This was long. This started up here and went all the way down here to half this page. She typed all kind of stuff, talking about a man that cheated on her, lied to her, and broke her heart. Yeah, he really won. I mean, he won. He won so hard because you don't recognize game like that. Okay, stop thinking about him. Block him on your Instagram. Block him on your Facebook. Block him on your Snapchat. Block him on your TikTok. Block him on your email. Block him on your phone. Block him on anything that you can think of. Block him so that he cannot be stalking you and he cannot be bothering you again. Okay? That's how you do when you have somebody who's a lying, cheating dog. You don't let them have access to you. They are denied. Question number 16, male 21 to 25 from South Bend, Indiana. My older sister, she's 33 and I'm 24, has been in a relationship for a few months now, but lately she is definitely thinking about leaving the guy as he shows a lot of stingy tendencies. From day one, he was tight and counted pennies. That would have been the end of it, day one. I think the first time she saw the tendencies was when he was fixing something or helping her, which is good, but he made sure to get the relatively small cost of the part back, something like $8. A few months later, it was Christmas, and although they had said not to give presents, my sister still bought him something, but obviously he didn't get her anything. He never brings along food, even though she does that all the time. And when she asked if she could get some hay for Tick and Tock, her guinea pigs, oh, how cute. He has two big horses. He wouldn't give her any. His 15 and 17-year-old children who live with their mom has to pay for riding lessons with their own money as he refuses, but he has no problem spending money on and buying services for himself, such as massage, etc. No presents or flowers ever for my sister. These are bad signs, right? Well, yeah, there's two bad signs. It's a bad sign that he's such a cheap ass. It's a bad sign that your sister's so desperate that she won't leave him alone. Okay, so it's two bad signs here. Okay, because by the time he got to the point where he want to eat up all her food, he don't bring none, he don't contribute nothing. He want to get parts back, $8 back, and so she's cooking and doing stuff for him, and the cost of her bedroom services and all that stuff. She should start giving his ass a bill. We're gonna play this kind of game, and the hey, I mean, why do you ask him? Just reach down and grab a handful and stuff it in your purse or pocket or something. The guinea pigs are not gonna eat. I mean, they're compared to a horse, it's like 200 guinea pigs the size to make the size of a big horse, or more. Because guinea pigs are small. So I don't really understand this guy. He wouldn't get. I would be done. By the time he didn't want to give my little ticket, my little tock some hay, and the hay is just laying there, it's already paid for. It's not like one bite from your giant ass horses. It's not going to hurt you in any way. You're not losing anything. So that would tell me that this is no kind of man. He's not good for a relationship. There's a video on this channel about that. The Emotionally Bankrupt Man with Nothing to Give is the title of it. It was from February of last year. So you should check that out, young man, and then show it to your sister. Okay? So she can leave him alone. Wow. Yeah, well, she's in a few months. She needs to cut bait with him. No. Question 17, female 22 to 30 from Croydon, UK. I need some help with my relationship. I'm 22 years old and I have one kid and one on the way. I would like to think I love this man, but I'm not sure I would ever have, really. He earns well and therefore I'm lucky enough to not need to work, but I haven't worked for some time. I feel I would not be capable of providing for myself on my own. From an outside point of view, I have everything, a nice house, a nice car, nice things, and a family. But I'm deeply, deeply unhappy, but afraid to admit it to anyone. I know I am so young, and I wish I could be happy and settle down with him, but there's a part of me that can't see myself with him forever. I'm definitely not attracted to him. I find sex with him very boring and crap. I just don't know what to do. If I leave him, I lose everything, but if I stay, I don't know if I will be unhappy forever. We barely spend any time together. He works a lot, and then when he's home, he's tired and only wants to sit on his phone and watch football or the TV. He's definitely got comfortable around me and has put on weight, which I find even less attractive. He makes no effort and has poor hygiene, which was never the case before. So he's stinky, can't fuck, and don't talk to you too. The only benefit he has is, some money taking care of you and the kids. I feel like I rely on him a lot financially, and I am now stuck. What should I do? Oh, this is a good lesson. All the women on these channels all over the place talking about, be feminine and get you a man that's going to take care of you because you can be a stay-at-home mom and all this stuff, and he should make all the money, and he should do this and that. This is a perfect example of how that is. You have no purpose to your life. That's why you're feeling miserable. You're just laying up there being a house cleaner, a bed wench, and a maid and a nanny. That's your life. And you're miserable because of it, because you have no purpose. Nothing about what you're doing is fulfilling for you. And that's the part a lot of people don't get. They think, well, she's got it made. She's got it this and that. She has nothing. She's just in service to everybody else in that household. Nothing in that whole situation is for her. Do you understand what's going on here? The woman feels empty. She feels angst. She feels pain. She feels like nothing because she is. That's how she's feeling. There's what why am I here? What am I on this planet for? What's going on here? What am I doing besides popping out babies? So what you need to do, girlfriend, is find something to do with yourself. After this, or maybe beforehand, you go enroll in some classes. As young as you are, you most likely have not finished university. So you are going to enroll in some classes and you're going to finish your degree. When you do that, you will feel good about yourself. You'll have a sense of accomplishment that you don't have right now. Then you're going to get some little part-time job. You're going to have two tiny children, so really, and he's probably in a high income bracket. It won't make sense for you to be going out making a whole bunch of money just to go pay it all back in taxes and daycare costs and all that stuff. That really doesn't make much sense. But you should have something that you're doing, even if it's something that you could do from the house, that you find fulfilling and that makes you some money for yourself. Then you're going to, talk to dude. Say, if we're going to be a couple, we need to spend more time together. We need to do things together as a family. Um, and then, schedule things and then just kind of take charge of that. Because, men they're not going to come up with that by themselves. You're going to have to be the one to say, on Saturday, I got us, reservations to go see such and such or go to the park and blah, blah, blah. We're going to do this. We're going to take the kids there. We're going to do blah, blah, blah. Okay. And then he's going to be like, oh, all right. And then you lay out the clothes you want him to wear. If his clothes are too small, go buy him some bigger ones because he's not going to lose weight no time soon. Stuff like that. So what I'm basically saying is you have to create the situation at your house that you want. Stop waiting for him to do it. You want more fun and excitement, create it. You want him to dress better, buy the clothes. He got the plenty of money. I'm sure you got some credit cards. Go shopping on his dime and tell him, look, I got you some new clothes. Throw all that old shit away that he doesn't fit anymore. You know? You guys want to start exercising together, get you some equipment. Set up a corner in some room with a weight bench or something. I don't know, whatever they got in Croydon, UK. Do something. Make that your focus. Create the relationship and the relationship in the household that you want. This is on you. You're the one that's unhappy, so it's your responsibility to fix it. Okay? Question number 18. This is from a female in a 22 to 30 age group from Sugar Land, Texas. Oh, I know where that is. I've been in a relationship for 2 years now. When I met my boyfriend, he looked a lot different than he does now. He's gained a lot of weight, which we all have from COVID. He's going bald. He's going bald and doesn't know how to dress himself like an adult. A lot of his clothes are his father's hand-me-downs. None of these clothes fit him, and they're pretty worn out. At 22 to 30, the thing that bothers me the most is that he has developed a hunchback from playing video games and sitting constantly in that posture. It's so severe that at this point, I think he should see a doctor about it because it might affect his health or quality of life. Oh my God. How many times, what video games has he played? He's got a hunchback. I haven't mentioned my feelings about these things to him because I think it's generally wrong to comment negatively on other people's bodies. But I don't feel attracted to him anymore. Honestly, I feel a little embarrassed to introduce him to my parents if he won't dress in clothes that at least fit him and will be slumped forward with horrible posture. I'm mad at myself for being so shallow, but ultimately I do care how my partner looks at least a little. I don't need my partner to be the best looking person in the world, but I want to date someone who takes decent care of themselves. I've tried helping him with clothes and finding styles that fit and flatter, but he's not very interested in clothes and would rather spend his money on video games. I've tried to get him to work on his posture, but he's not motivated to change it, and I think it might even be a medical problem since it's gotten so extreme. Oh my God, he's looking like Quasimodo. I love my boyfriend. I've been feeling very conflicted for a long time about our relationship. I feel like I would be stupid to end such a good relationship and leave someone I love very much over something so shallow. But I do want to be attracted to my partner. I do want them to be able to present themselves well, too. Should I ask him to take better care of himself, or how should I address the situation, if at all? Do you think I should end the relationship over loss of attraction? I don't want to leave him, but I do want to be attracted to him and not feel embarrassed about how he presents himself. You are 22 to 30 and you are going all of this because you've been with somebody for 2 years to turn into Quasimodo and stink bomb? Girl, all the men in Texas, all them cute little, Because I constantly had whiplash. Because, they saw something about them country boys. They just be like built up and stuff from hauling that hay and doing all that stuff right out there in well, I don't know what Sugar Land looks like now. I haven't been out there in many, many years. But that's how they used to look because there used to be a lot of ranches and stuff. They started building housing develops and stuff. But it used to be like, land. People had cattle and stuff out there. And all them little boys was farm boys and they was fine as hell. So, thinking back on that and then thinking about what you're describing, that does not compute, Will Robinson. So he would have to go. But you're too young for this. You're too young for this to be stuck in a situation with somebody who you're not attracted to and who doesn't care about himself. I mean, he may be depressed or something. I don't really know. But again, that's not your problem. That's not your job to fix. You're not qualified to do work on that. So what I would suggest is you sit down with homeboy and say, look, I've noticed, we've been together for 2 years, and over that period of time, your hygiene has fell off. You stink. Most of the time, you don't do nothing. Your grooming just sucks. Your clothes look like you got them from the Salvation Army or you stole them off of a hobo on the street. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with you. And then you walk around looking like Quasimodo with your hunchback and stuff. It's not cute. I'm not attracted to you anymore. I'm out. That's what you're supposed to do at the 22 to 30. You don't stay in a situation like this. You ain't married to him. You don't have no kids with him. You're not in business with him. There's no reason for you to stay in a situation like this. Just like you fell in love with him, you could fall in love with somebody else. Okay? I'm just saying. Yeah, Igor, Nick, all right. See? I'll never forget that line as long as I live. No. You need to go. You need to go and get rid of this dude. I'm telling you. I was a big Frankenstein and Dracula fan when I was growing up. You look at them movies now, and them special effects were so hokey. It looked like somebody was on a stick on a cardboard background and they making it go like this. Like, but when you're a little kid, it was like, it looks scary and spooky. Yeah, he would have lost me on the funk. I'm telling you, I cannot stand no funky man. That just not what does not work. And my boy, oh, he used to play basketball, right? He would come in, honey, them shoes and them socks. I swear, them shoes could walk down the street by themselves. They were so stiff with sweat and old dirt and stuff. Oh my God! And I made a mistake of washing them in the washing machine one time, and he was like, "You wash my shoes." He had a fit because I guess it changed how he fit or something. But I did not care because the smell. I mean, I made him leave him on the patio outside because, you kill a few bugs or rats or something that's outside. Let them die. But you ain't killing me with that smell. Oh my God. So anyway, girlfriend, yeah, that's what you need to do. Really think about the fact that how young you are. You've been with him for 2 years, and all this happened in only 2 years. It's just going downhill. You get out of a relationship that's not meeting your needs, and this one isn't. Okay, just it all. I mean, I'm being real right now. I was making jokes before, but I'm being serious right now. This it's not meeting your needs, so you got to let him go. Question number 19, female, 31 to 39, from Macon, Georgia. I recently caught my boyfriend cheating with transgender escorts. It's one in every column. I don't know how to see. I he don't know how to see I feel empty. He does not know that I know his secret. I fear he may try to harm me if I told him I know. I love him, but every day my mind just can't get over it and pretending like everything is okay is taking a toll on me mentally. What should I do? What's that song, the Backstreet Boys? Bye, bye, bye. That little song, that's what you need to sing. To put that on repeat as you pack your stuff and go. Bye, bye, bye. That's what you need to be saying. Because, he likes things with equipment that you don't have. Okay? And to me, that means that's the end. He is no longer, once I found that out, we would have broke up that day. He wouldn't have had to say nothing. I wouldn't have to say anything. It would just been like, oh, he would have came home, my stuff, he'd been like looking around, my stuff would have been packed up and gone. Okay? If you live with him. I mean, you don't say that, but um I wouldn't care. And then he would be blocked on my phone. And I just don't, to say, I don't want this relationship anymore. You don't have to tell him why. Just say, I decided I don't want this relationship anymore. I want to be single. I just can't stand the thought of being in a relationship. But really, what you can't stand the thought of him, you know. Oh my God, that would just mess me up. Actually, you know what? What I would do? I would be all. Oh, is that NSYNC? Okay, I thought it was Backstreet Boys. Whatever, one of them groups, them boy groups from that era. But he you don't need to tell him why. You just need to tell him that you've tried and you just realize that being in a relationship right now is not what you want. You got to go back to school because judging by how you wrote this, that's something you need to do. And then, you're going to focus on yourself and you just say all that kind of stuff, okay? And don't you tell nobody this because people have big mouths and it's going to get back to them. And you say you feel like he might try to hurt you. That's a good reason for you to shut up and not say nothing. You told me that's where it should end. Okay, you don't tell nobody. Don't even write it in your diary. Don't leave any evidence that you know this. All right? And move on with your life. Question number 20, little freak. Okay, here we go. Here's another one. I just peeked this word. I just found she's a female 40 to 49 from the UK. I have just found out that my partner of 3 years is a cross dresser. What's wrong with these men? They want to be trans, they want to date trans, and then they want to cross dress. They're confused. Whatever happened to good old fashioned masculinity? It seems to have like gone up in a puff of smoke. Okay, he does not know that I know, although I did voice my suspicions a year ago when something weird came up on internet history, and he very much denied it. A bit of background: we both have teenage boys and don't live together, but do have a blended family as we live near, share schools, clubs, etc. My boys adore him, and he's been more of a father to them in the past 2 years than their own dad. I adore his boys too, and I'm very close to one of them who has special needs. Our romantic life has always been really good, although if I'm honest, I would like him to be a bit more dominant. However, that's never been a massive issue, and he's always leaves me satisfied. He is kind and considerate and had great fun to be around. We both enjoy a shared hobby and have similar interests, work in similar fields. Up until a few days ago, I would have said I love him to bits and that he's my best friend. So on to the issue. Firstly, I don't think I can get past this. He is a big bloke, and the idea of him in makeup and heels, etc., turns my stomach. I'm sorry, this is just funny. However, can this be contained? Is this something he can do in his own time, so to speak, and keep out of our relationship? I have no idea about this. Will it just grow and grow once it's acknowledged? Secondly, obviously he has lied to me. I understand why. The shame must be huge and the fear of losing what we have. However, he has lied to me for years. My last partner had an affair for years, and this has brought it all back. I don't think this is fixable, but I'm just so sad at everything we will lose. Have you ever come across someone who has been in the same situation? My head is telling me there's no way forward here, but my heart wants there to be a magical solution that will help me deal with this. Well, I don't know if it's going to help you deal with it, but let me tell you what I would do. I would be like, ooh, I found out that you like to dress like a girl. Let me see. Put on your stuff. Make sure that it's pretty. Make sure it's lacy. And make sure it's pink. I want to see. Because that's how I am very curious about stuff. I want to see. I want to see just so if for no other reason that I can get online and talk about his ass later. You should have seen this big old fat 6 foot tall 300 pound freak in some lacy pink panties. That was some shit I will never forget as long as I live. So it would be like that. I would have to clown, but I still want to see. And he would probably be so excited to thinking that going to be accepting of his little freaky proclivities. And you sit there with your legs crossed and say, okay, now twirl. Put your big giant size 12 high heels on and let me see. You strut around in them. Work it, girl. Work it. I would just be fucking with him. But he would probably really be turned on by that. Can you imagine with hair on his chest and stuff? Walking around there looking, trying to act like he's like putting on lacy, pretty things. I'm telling you, I would just act a fool because that's just how I do things. I would not be able to resist. Soon as I found out, I would have raced out the room with the evidence in my hand and say, oh, look at these giant panties. You know they got them giant panties like this because he's a big old dude, right? So, they probably about this big. And he got them things on. He got his little stash of stuff and everything. Girl, I'm trying to tell you, I would have to see this. I would have to see. I would want to see just because. And then I would clown him. But this is the kind of thing that I think most women would find very threatening. I'm being serious right now. That's why they hide it, because they know it's like, okay, there can only be one woman in a heterosexual relationship. What are you trying to do here? You're trying to slide into my position. You want to wear stuff that looks like stuff that I wear. As a woman, this is not going to work. What are you doing? And it's like it's not a turn on to most women. Most women would find it very threatening. So the only thing that would probably, like I said, save me is my natural nosiness and curiosity. I would want to see this for myself, and I wouldn't understand. I understand that his whatever he's trying to do has no bearing on me, my attractiveness, my intelligence, my desirability to men in a whole as a whole. Not it don't have nothing to do with me. That's all your confused shit are going on up in your head. You the one that's all messed up that think you want to put on lacy pink things, and like I said, a gruff 600-pound man with a beer belly. What in what world is that cute? I just don't understand. But that is something that I think you're going to have to just admit to him that you found it, you found this out, and and have a conversation. After all, you guys have been together for all this time. Have a conversation. I think you owe that to each other. And you never know. I mean, he might have, you might, after you talk about it, be somewhat okay with it as long as he doesn't do it in your face. Like put his stuff in a locked drawer. The boy should never find this out. That will mess them up. He needs to have this stuff in a back of the closet in a locked drawer somewhere. Okay. And then when he does his little thing, it has to be when nobody's going to be at the house and the kids aren't there and not expected to be there because they might bust in and see him. You know what I mean? So you guys would have to work that out if you can do that. And you never know. It might bring you guys closer if you can tolerate it. But like I said, I'm not saying that's what you should do. But I do think you should talk to him about it. You owe each other that much. And then see where it goes from there. Question 21. This is the next to last question of the evening. Man, I had some good laughs tonight. Female 22 to 30 from London. That's it. My boyfriend said that his friend was looking up their coworkers' Facebook profiles while he was there. Then he said that he would bang them. Wow. I feel totally disrespected. I am not absurd to think we're not humans without our instincts and all, but I think it's disrespectful towards me and our relationship to say that to me. Am I wrong? No. But see, this is when you pull out your flamethrower and you say, oh, you would bang them, huh? Well, I was happy. I was looking at some pictures of Idris and these people here, and start flipping around and talking about somebody that and say, he's fine. I would bang him too. Should we have a threesome? I'm going to bring the guy though. You have to wait your turn. Just talk shit to him. See what he says. Because see, he said that to you to get a rise out of you. He said that to you to hurt you. Any man past the age of 15 knows, or even younger than that, because if he likes a little girl, he knows not to say stuff like that to her. This guy said this to you intentionally. Okay, he's putting you on notice that he wants to start screwing around. No man in his right mind would say that to his woman unless he's ready for the relationship to be over. Or, one of those things like, and that's when the fight started. But when a man starts disrespecting you to your face like that, your relationship, no matter how much you love him, how much you want to be with him, how much you thought you guys had a great thing going, it's over. Okay? Because when they disrespect you intentionally like that, they do it for a reason. They want to fuck over you. They want to hurt you. They want to mess you up. Understand that. I think so many women try to brush it over. Oh, well, he didn't mean it. He said he was sorry. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, sure, you're right. No, you're not wrong. And what you need to do is understand that your boyfriend is trash. Trade him in for a new model. All right? Oh, wait a minute. What is this long thing? This is okay. This is the last question. Well, get ready. This one looks a little lengthy. Female 31 to 39 from Cardiff, England. Well, we got a lot of UK letters in today. My question is this: if you are a single parent whose partner does not live with you, but stays 3 to 4 nights a week, has lunch, dinner, bathes, laundry, etc., do they contribute to your household and food bills? Hell yeah. I'm a single parent to an 11-year-old boy. I have a nice, comfortable home and earn a good wage. I don't necessarily struggle financially, but I'm definitely not flush either. Have been with this guy for 2.5 years. He lives rent free in a house his parents own. He earns less than I do and is currently furloughed. I do spend maybe a night every 2 months at his place, maybe less given the year that was 2020. I also think my house is far more comfortable. It's warmer. He has open fire, but will rarely turn on heating and is always stocked up. It's also much easier for him to come here than for me to pack up makeup, work stuff, clothes, etc., sort out the animals so they're okay while I'm away, etc. We live 15 minutes drive apart. Oh, that's nothing. There's been a couple of instances the last few days that kind of snapped at him. Lights, heaters, electric blankets, etc. left on. When I pointed this out, he hasn't seen it as a big deal. So I snapped and said, well, it's all very well when you're not the one paying the energy bills. I cooked a lovely dinner Sunday roast recently, and he had not even finished his plate when he said, "Did you get snacks and nibbles for later?" Hmm. He took an item of food out of the fridge and had a piece in his hand. I asked him not to eat it, as I have a strict meal plan in place every week to make my shopping delivery last, and he threw it in his mouth with a smile. The disrespect that these women take is just amazing to me. Had to total up my electric heating and broadband bills for 2020 in my tax return this week, and when I told him I was shocked that it was pound 2500 with a C in front of it. I don't know what that means. He barely batted an eye. He doesn't seem to understand the enormity of my outgoings. My monthly bills exceeds what he earns in a month. There are evenings when he would just snack and finish things in the fridge, cupboard, and it just bugs me because I've already given him dinner and he knows I'm keeping a strict meal plan. Knew I had run out of milk and eggs yesterday, mostly consumed by him, and even though he was out of the house yesterday, didn't consider stopping at the shop to pick up some as a thoughtful gesture. Wow, this guy's a loser. He does occasionally bring the odd meal slash takeaway, but it's not consistent at all. He will tidy up a bit, empty the dishwasher, but nothing that makes it a huge dent in my housework, to be honest. My boyfriend is with me 50% of the time, and to be honest, I would just throw on a jumper and a pair of woolly socks when I'm on my own. But when he is here, I like to keep the house nice and warm, so heating is always on when we're together. I don't know what to expect from him, really. I just wanted to see if you could tell me what other couples do in similar situations so I have a clue how to proceed. Yes, they break up because this is ridiculous. You are a single parent. He has no kids. He lives place rent free. You have to pay rent or mortgage or whatever you're doing. He's staying over at your house, so he don't even turn on the heat at his place. So he won't come over to your house and run up the electricity bill and stuff, and then doesn't contribute to it and expects you to pay. He asks you. You not only does he eating at your house without contributing any food, he's demanding snacks and everything else. You tell him not to eat certain items because you're trying to budget and stuff to ration out your meals and your groceries, and he does it anyway, right in your face when you ask him not to. So see, when I put all of that together, he would be up out of my house. I'm not taking that. You gonna unask $300, $400 a month if you're gonna be spending over here this much, and you need to bring all the snacks that you want to be eating. You're not eating none of my kids' stuff no more. I even had to do that too. Well, he wasn't my husband at that point. We were just dating, and I used to like to buy this organic juice from Whole Foods, right? This organic peach juice. And I would sometimes put my vodka in with it and stuff. But, it was delicious. It was just very refreshing. And you could like put it in ice cube trays and make like a little popsicle and stuff. That shit was expensive as hell. Okay. So I would buy the little jar, I think it was Newton's or something. Anyway, I would buy the little bottle. And then I would ration myself like a glass a day or whatever so that the bottle or two bottles would last me, a week and a half. This motherfucker come over to my house. He says, "You got anything to drink?" So I poured him a glass, and then he gonna drink the whole bottle. The whole bottle. I lost my mind. I lost my mind. I went off on him like a rocket and threw him out of my house. He said, "You selfish fuck. So you didn't even leave any for me. You just gonna drink it all because you was sitting there and you wanted it? You trifling piece of shit." I cussed his monkey ass out. He was just sitting there blinking. Because before that I had been really nice to him. But one thing you're not gonna do is try to take advantage of me like that. So I didn't talk to him. He was calling. I'm looking at the caller ID. I didn't answer the phone. So about a week went by, and finally he comes. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna come over. I'm gonna bring you something." So he used to like to drink Kern's nectar. So he came in the house. He had to go back to the car because he had like, he had a flats, I think, what is it, 24 cans? Anyway, he had like 3 or 4 flats of that. And he had a whole case of my peach juice. He had went to Whole Foods and got it. So it was like 6 bottles in there. And he gave me that. He says, "I will never drink your juice again." And then he put, "Where can I sit my Kern's nectar?" So I had him put it under my sewing machine cabinet out of the way. And he put them there. And he put 6 in the refrigerator. And then he would drink those. And I would drink my juice. And that was it. But it's because I had to go off on him to let him know we're not gonna do that. I don't know what women you've been dating and let you get away with that trying to trash, but you're not gonna do that. Not to me. When I reached the refrigerator to get the juice, and I went to all the way to Berkeley to buy at Whole Foods because that's the only place they used to have it at that time. I drove all the way to Berkeley from Oakland to get this juice, and then I reached the refrigerator, and this the bottle's not there. It's on the counter and it's empty, and it was full when I gave it to you like 2 hours ago. No. So this kind of stuff that you're dealing with, young lady, especially the fact that you're a child, you got a child, and you're budgeting your money, and he just gives no f's about it. You need to tell him either you gonna start unassing $500 or $600 a month for all the resources that you use up in this house. You're gonna bring your own snacks when you come here, and if none of that is amenable to do, then you stay home, and we're gonna break up. Cause I'm tired of funding you. I'm not your mother. Your whole attitude is fucked up. I don't like it. It's very selfish and it's very, using my resources in a way that's just very cavalier, like you just don't care. And I'm not going to absorb the cost of you. I'm not doing that anymore. So you figure it out until you figure out how to walk in that door the first of every month with $600 and put in my hand. Don't come here no more. That's what I would tell his ass. Yeah, just like he's entitled to use her stuff and she's not supposed to say anything. Please. No, I don't want no invoice. I want my money. You coming up in here, you not coming in this house without the money. I told you how did that through the dude out. I didn't give him no dinner. He came, he's supposed to bring a bottle of wine, $15 bottle of wine. And I didn't give him no food. Now what you think I'm gonna do with somebody running up my light bill and stuff for months on end? That's not happening. Not in my lifetime. No, we ain't giving no invoice because then the next thing you know, it'd be going to collection because, people that have a sense of entitlement don't pay their bills on time. But anyway, that is the show for tonight. I hope that you guys enjoyed What the Fuck Tuesday. We have the show every Tuesday. If you just happen to get here, it's every Tuesday. It starts at 6 p.m. Pacific time, which is 9 if you're on the East Coast. Just tune in. We have great chat, people to the chat. We have a lot of regulars that come here every week. And the people send in their advice questions in advance. If you have a question that you would like to submit for consideration on the show for coming weeks, look in the show description down below. Expand the box, and you'll see a blurb that says get advice, and just click that link and it'll take you to the form. Fill everything out and then try to give me the information that I need, like the ages of the people, how long you've been together, whether you live together or not, children involved. Give me the facts, and then I can make a really good determination. Thanks, Amanda. Another make a good determination for you and give you a good and thoughtful response. But I need all the facts in order to do that. All right. And we got we have February coming up. So please hit that subscribe button and hit the like button and share a video or two. If one's your favorite one, share them with your friends and on your social media pages. I would greatly appreciate that to help the channel grow. Getting real close to that 25,000. I would love to hit it by February 1st. That would be great. Talk to you guys real soon. Enjoy your evening. Bye-bye.